Our communities are connected. Businesses, people, and organizations all sharing a common goal to create the best place to live and work possible. Everyone has a story to tell about their businesses and the place they call home. We're here to tell your story. This is Your Network, powered by D&B Communications. This episode, we meet with Starling Lounge in Blissfield.
My name is Ben.
I'm Lindsey from Starling Lounge in Blissfield. How did we get where we are today?
We went out to dinner one night.
Yeah, it kind of started with that conversation at J&G's.
Yep.
We were talking about how cool it would be to own a bar or a restaurant. This was maybe 10-ish years ago, before we had our kids. And my uncle had owned a bar when I was growing up, so I remember just going in there all the time and feeling like it was this really magical place where everybody seemed to be having fun, everybody was hanging out all the time. It just felt like something that we wanted to do, and we were starting to get into craft beer, and I had already worked in coffee shops, so over time this whole idea of just merging the beer and the coffee just started to coalesce. And we started with the coffee with the idea of adding the beer in next, and that's
then
where we are.
Then we bought a big homebrew kit, and we made our first batch of beer with our daughter being probably 1 year old, and we still have pretty good pictures of that.
Yeah.
And we've made a lot of batches of beer since, and slowly this concept of beer and coffee has come together.
Well, I had worked in coffee shops when I was younger, and I remember it just being the most fun job. So everything else that I kind of did as I got older, it just didn't compare to being in a coffee shop, listening to conversations, people watching. I mean, you just learn so much about people, and it's fun being behind the counter, whereas like with serving, you're out and you're moving around the tables. But there's something about being behind a counter that really, it makes the interaction, it's a little quicker, like micro conversations, but it's really interesting what you learn about people. And so beer and coffee kind of go really well that way, that you can be serving from the same space.
Well, and back when we developed this concept, we were driving to Toledo or Temperance or Adrian to get a good cup of coffee. And with Lindsey's experience being a barista, that was one big reason why we integrated the coffee, and the coffee was more financially feasible for us to start with. And then we originally thought about doing them separately, and then we started seeing a growing trend of coffee shops and breweries, or coffee shops serving beer, popping up in some cool cities around the country, and we just wanted to bring that to Blissfield.
It makes it kind of a morning to night concept. So it's kind of like uppers and downers. So we thought it would be cool to own something that, you know, you're waking up in the morning with your coffee and then you're transitioning to beer, and it's this totally different atmosphere at night. So that's our goal, is to have this great eclectic atmosphere here in the morning where everything's bustling, and then at night just have it more kind of more like chill and relaxing. And the lighting in here is so beautiful at night, so we're really excited for that. We chose Blissfield because Ben's lived here his whole life. We own a home here. We're raising our kids here. I have lived here for the past 12 or 13 years. We feel like there's a lot happening here. There's a lot of progress being made as far as the small local businesses. We used to be known for antiques around here, and there's still a lot of that, but there's some new things cropping up, some newer, fresh businesses, and we just felt like we wanted to breathe life into this community, and
we really wanted to be a big part of the revitalization of this downtown area, and I think a lot of times breweries have that opportunity to be
like a flagship or a cornerstone of a downtown community. Plus, I mean, who doesn't want a good coffee shop in their downtown? So
a destination. That's the word I was looking for. And then as far as like being in this downtown area, it's always been very important to us to be pedestrian friendly. I imagine people being able to ride their bikes here and walk here and be able to walk to other businesses and things like that. So.
Yeah. The best part about building a startup,
I would say being able to imagine it and see what you originally imagined and then what it ends up being in the end.
yes, because everything just transforms. You go from this original idea and it just becomes something almost totally unrecognizable from what you first imagined. I mean, I remember when we were putting together a binder of ideas for what we wanted our old coffee shop to be, and it looks nothing like what we have now is almost nothing like what we originally thought. But we like moving along with our own progress. It's like we see how things are going, we see what customers want and what the trends are in the industry, and we're just willing to adapt. And I think just being adaptable is a huge part of what can make it so fun, because as long as you're willing to innovate and adapt, you can start adding all kinds of things that you didn't even know you needed, but that make your business really great and that people really love. The hardest part is being away from our kids. The loss of time. I think, when you have a regular job, it's like you can go home at 5 o'clock and just kind of shut it off, but we literally never shut this off. I brew coffee in my sleep. I mean, we think about this 24 hours a day.
I would say another really hard part of it is convincing people to come and spend their hard-earned money at your location. You're not a recognizable brand to them yet, so to try to convince them to
trust you.
Yep.
Yeah, to trust that it's going to be something that they like. Mm-hmm. I think the best part about running a business in Blissfield is that there are so many things up and coming right now, so many amazing businesses. We have a yoga studio, we have Nourish, which has vegan and gluten-free food. I mean, these are things that just were not here 10 years ago. It's amazing to see the progress of this town and just all of the local entrepreneurs who are putting their hearts into this space and making it so great. I feel like we're all just a little piece of the puzzle, and what we do is just a part of what everybody else is doing here.
And I love being able to share it with family, friends, and getting to know so many people that live here that we didn't get a chance to know before, but now are regular customers, or share this.
Yeah, it's so cool how many people we've gotten to know. I mean, we've gotten to know so many more people just through doing this, and it makes this community feel really special. Just that we know people by name, and we know what they're up to, and we know what they're working on. We can find ways to collaborate, and that's just so cool. Helps us in this town. It's hard to say.
I think just the proximity of some of the other businesses, and having 223 that goes through here. We've noticed a lot of people lately that have found us on Google or that have just popped in. We had somebody from Sweden come in the other day. That was really neat. Some people from LA that just happened to be traveling through. It's just things we didn't expect, but it was really cool to see people come in from other areas and just find us and see pictures and offerings and things like that they were interested in.
Not to mention that we're a Michigan Main Street community, and I feel like the fact that the DDA does so much for our downtown helps us be more visible in general, and helps all the businesses sort of form this cohesiveness, and it makes people traveling down 223 want to stop and walk around and look at what everybody's doing.
Yeah.
Technology has helped us through being able to provide customer Wi-Fi. That's huge in a coffee shop. You need that. And music too. Like, we need to stream music all day, and that's how you create your atmosphere. Once we have the brewery, we'll have the TVs for sports games and things like that. So.
And just making social media makes advertising affordable and doable. For you can get as much out of it as you want to put into it. So it makes
10 years ago that wouldn't really have been an option, and now it's like we're posting on Instagram all day long, we're reposting people's stories all day long, so that's crucial. I can't even imagine
something we otherwise may not have the budget to do.
Mm-hmm.
The future is a lot of fun, actually, because then we get to add in the brewery, which we're really, really excited about. We're working our way through the application process right now. We hope to be a big part of events that are happening down here. Obviously expanding our hours and our offerings, and a kitchen eventually. There's a lot.
The sky's really the limit. We're hoping that someday we can even outgrow this location and sort of do this as a tap room and then have the brewery somewhere off site. We'll see how it goes, but it would be so amazing to just continue to serve the community through coffee and beer and whatever else may come up. But it's exciting to see how it's going to grow and evolve over time. I would love for people to just feel comfortable coming in and ordering something that maybe they've never had before. I think sometimes people can be intimidated by a coffee menu. They don't know what things are, but I would love for everyone to know that we get it, and we're always trying new things too. So some of the things that we come out with are things we had to learn about. We're always playing around with new stuff. So we are passionate about it. We love to educate people on it. We love to talk to them about what these different drinks are, what goes into them, and to find their perfect order. We love to hear about what they like, and we will make something that we know they'll love.
And it'll be the same with beer. It'll be fun to help educate people on styles and just get them to try things that they maybe otherwise haven't had before.
Yeah.